Blues. So sweet. This is the Blues Thread. And I'm Glen Kellaway from the basement. The amazing Kelly Joe Phelps, whose name will come up later in one of the responses. We'll leave that playing in the background. Great album. This is in response to my good friend Chris, BluesGuy Vinyl. I love Chris. Great guy. I consider him my friend. And he's a Habs fan, Montreal Canadiens fan, but we get past that. It's okay. I love him anyway. Chris started a blues thread. There's been a jazz thread. There's been a country thread. I don't really feel like I'd do either of those justice because I didn't have enough. Like country, I'm more bluegrass oriented. So everything I would have shown would have been a bluegrass album, except for like a Hank Williams greatest hits or something. Maybe a Johnny Cash album. Jazz, I love jazz. I don't think I have enough of a varied collection to add anything to the thread that would be positive and different. So, but the blues, man, I've loved the blues since I didn't even know what the blues were in 1964 when you're hearing the Rolling Stones and the Yardbirds and bands like that playing this music. It just seemed like Rolling Stones music and Yardbirds music to me. I didn't know who Chester Burnett was. The name McKinley Morgan Field meant nothing to me. Willie Dixon, whatever, like just, you know, they were Rolling Stones songs as far as I knew. So let's get started with this thread. Thank you for doing this, Chris. It's a great one. Okay, Electric Blues album. Well, how about Electric Mud? I mean, how can that not be in a great Electric Blues album? Classic album. Electric Mud. Gotta go. Muddy Waters, man. Muddy's gonna make a few appearances here. Acoustic album. Chris actually turned me on to this album. Blues singer, Buddy Guy. What a great record this is. It's kind of like the sister album to Muddy Waters' folk singer album. It's just Buddy Guy playing acoustic music. No one gets, it's not better than, the blues don't get better than Buddy Guy. They don't. Live blues album. Let's go back to Muddy. Muddy Waters Live. This is a really good record. I found this used. Recorded live at Mr. Kelly's. Great album. It's got What is that she got? I love that song. You Don't Have to Go, Strange Woman, Blow Wind Blow, Country Boy, 9 Below Zero, Stormy Monday. He does a version of Stormy Monday. Boom Boom, the John Lee Hooker song. CC Woman. Great record on the Chess label. Which has got to come up later too, right? Okay. Next, double blues album. One of my all-time favorite blues albums because it has a lot of personal memories for me, and also it's just a great freaking album. Fathers and Sons, again, Muddy Waters, passing the torch off to all the young white Turks like Mike Bloomfield and Paul Butterfield, those guys. This is a reissue on the Chess label, but amazing record. If you don't have this record in your collection and you're a blues fan, you're missing something, man. You are missing something. Fathers and Sons. Okay, what's next? Sorry, I keep dropping the piece of paper here, and then you get a close-up on my ear. Oldest blues album in your collection. So oldest by oldest recordings. Another album. This was actually VCLT from Chris. Robert Johnson, The Complete Recordings. Man, this is so good. So good. Fantastic. Robert Johnson. Thanks again, Chris, for that. Love it. They're the oldest recordings that I have. Newest, most recent blues album. I know I pulled it out here. This is the newest one I've purchased. It's not new blues recordings. It's Fleetwood Mac in the studio at Chess, playing with Otis Spann, Willie Dixon, Buddy Guy, Honey Boy Edwards. Great album. Blues Jam in Chicago. Really good album. It is on, what label's this on? It's on Columbia. Excellent record. Oh. Okay, Blues 45. I'm a little, the next few questions, I'm a little weak. My apologies. Doing my best. There was a band in Toronto in the 70s called the Original Sloth Band. Now, the Sloth Band was two brothers, Ken and Chris Whiteley, who were big fans of just traditional music, a lot of blues and old blues jazz stuff, and Fats Waller to Betsy Smith, to everybody, and they would do these songs. Here's their album called Hustlin' and Bustlin'. Now on the back cover, you can see let me get to the 45 in a minute. I just wanted to talk to you about the band for a sec. So there's where they show a lot of the great musicians they covered, from Louis Armstrong to Bessie Smith. Oh my God. Shout Baby Shout, which was a Sleepy John Estes song, I think. Honeysuckle Rose, it's a classic song. West Indies Blues. The writing's so small, I have a hard time doing it. But anyway, 45. So here's an interesting story. I was a big fan of the Original Sloth Band. Got to know the guys a little bit because I used to go see them so much. And when my wife Lynn and I first started going out, the first place I took her on a date was the famous Horseshoe Tavern in Toronto. The Original Sloth Band were doing an anniversary show. They got together to do like their 25th anniversary show or something, whatever it was. And they're playing, and they did a cover of a Wilson Pickett song called 6345789, and they released it as a 45. So I loved their version of it. Heard them do it live a million times. And at the show, they had an original 45. They were given out as a prize. And they said, if anybody can tell us who produced this 45, they can have it. Right away I knew, because I was such a fan of the band. It was Daniel Lanois. Daniel Lanois had a studio in Hamilton, Ontario before he ever went to the States and made it with Dylan and U2 and the Neville Brothers and all that stuff. So I won the 45. Not only that, then also Ken Whiteley autographed the sleeve for my wife. To Lynn, best wishes, Ken Whiteley. I can't see the date now. It's probably 91. 91, I think. So anyway, here's the 45. On the B side is St. Louis Blues, W.C. Handy. You can't get more bluesy than that. And there is 6, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. That's my number. Great song. There's my 45. Okay. What's next? A 10-inch. I'm holding nothing in my hand that even remotely is close to 10 inches. Blues album on the chest label. Well, let's go back again. Just as easy, because I'm a lazy son of a bitch, to go back and grab Muddy Waters Live and show my chest label. So there we go. I got the chest label covered. Don't worry, Chris, I got your back. Okay, here's where we're gonna learn something. Not you guys, me. I have nothing on Delmark and nothing on Alligator. So now when I'm out looking for blues albums, I'm gonna be looking for those labels. See what's on there. Show a smaller label. Well, let's show the original Sloth Band album label. This is on Posterity Woodshed. Have no idea what that is. It says it's manufactured and distributed Ottawa, Ontario. Anyway, Posterity Woodshed. If anybody's aware of that one. There's my small label covered. Blues album in a regional style. I'm going with Chicago Blues, and I would assume these guys could be called Chicago Blues because they're all from Chicago, or majority of them, Paul Butterfield Blues Band. Paul Butterfield, badass guy, great harmonica player, great singer. This was such an amazing band. What a debut album they had. Mike Bloomfield, incredible. There's Mike and Paul right there. Too bad they died so tragically and so young. Okay. Psych album. Chris showed this one too. Doesn't get better than this, fans. Janis Joplin, Big Brother and the Holding Company, Cheap Thrills. That is Psychedelic Blues, man, at its best. Janis, my favorite singer of all time. Okay, British Blues album. I went with John Mayall, the Blues Breakers. It's British Blues. Eric Clapton, the Beano album. John McVie. Great record. Another classic one that's kind of an essential for everyone's collection. Oh, album by one of the kings of the blues. Let's go with Mr. B.B. Riley King. I'm just about to start reading a B.B. King biography. B.B. King, Live at the Regal. What a great live album that is. Amazing. I think that's B.B. at his best. I think it doesn't get better than this one as far as I'm concerned when it comes to B.B. King. Oh, colored vinyl. I got you covered. My favorite blues album of all time, Johnny Winter, Progressive Blues Experiment. And it's on kind of a translucent, orangey, yellowy vinyl. That works. Oh, blues album recommended to me. Chris does these great live videos. on YouTube where he just sits and plays blues music. He really inspired me to pick up. I couldn't find any vinyl, but I bought a CD because I was looking for this album on vinyl and it's expensive. But it is amazing. The amazing Coco Taylor. So thank you, Chris. You definitely inspired me to grab this. Great freaking album. Okay, next. Oh, a blues find and a discovery. Well, here we go, folks. This is where it all comes back to Kelly Joe Phelps. Back in, sometime in the 90s, late 90s maybe. I'm in a used bookstore in Toronto. And I got to know the guy because I used to go in there a little bit. And he would pick up, some people would bring in CDs for him, and he would pick them up and sell them. And when they came in, he knew I was a big music buff, and he'd say, I got some CDs in, and we'd put them up on the counter, and just be like a cardboard box with, 25, 30 CDs in it. We're going through, and we come up this one, and I just saw the title. I'd never heard of this man before in my life. Kelly Joe Phelps. We didn't have a CD player to listen to it, but I like the look of the cover with the slide, guitar on his lap, Lead Me On. Just thought it was a blues album. Back cover, great. Open up the sleeve, and a lot of traditional blues songs on here. I've Been Converted, Hard Time Killing Floor Blues, Jesus, Make Up My Dying Bed, a few songs. Anyway, at the bottom of it, so it says guitar, vocals, stomp box, Kelly Joe Phelps. That's it. And what really got me to buy it, because I bought it for like $5 or something, recorded at Dead Aunt Thelma's. What a handle. Dead Aunt Thelma's. Oh man, if that's a studio somewhere, that is the best name I've ever heard. And I took it home and blew me away. Blew me away. We got to listen to a bit more. Oh, I just love this album. Kelly Joe has recently, in the last few years, had problems with something like rheumatoid arthritis. Something happened to his hands and he couldn't play anymore. Too bad. I saw him live a couple times in intimate venues. He's just amazing. He's got quite a few albums out. I highly recommend this one. There's another one called Slingshot Professionals, which is my favorite actually. I think it's better than this, but it's not as bluesy, but it is kind of, but amazing. Guy's great. Kelly Joe Phelps. Okay, we're getting near the end here, boys and girls. First blues album ever bought. This is an interesting one for me because, like I said earlier, I discovered the blues without even knowing it. So the first blues albums I ever bought were Rolling Stones records. So I'm going to show the Rolling Stones, English newest hit makers. On this album they do Walking the Dog, I Just Want to Make Love to You. I mean, hearing these songs when I was 12 years old and thinking they were just amazing Rolling Stone songs. So yeah, but I think the first blues album, one of the first I ever got, that is one of my favorites too, Toronto Blues Band. I've shown this before because I think it's a great album. McKenna Minison Mainline, Stink. Great blues band. Great album. Another album that should be in anyone's collection. It was on the Liberty label. So I'm going to say that's the album I've had in my collection the longest. This came out in '69. And I've had it in one form or another, either the album or CD, and then getting the album again or whatever. I've always had this in my possession. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. I think that's it. So, Chris, thanks for doing this. I hope everybody enjoyed it, and peace out. We will see you guys soon. Take care.